Hey guys, Pete Weintraub, permanent weight loss specialist here. What if I told you that the United States federal government is so prideful that it won't announce the terrible dietary recommendations it's been making to the public for the past 60 plus years? This is obscene, considering the massive correlation between these recommended dietary habits and the great increases in obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease across the United States and much of the industrialized world. It's very well documented that government bureaucrats and scientific researchers were bought off by members of the sugar industry in the late 1950s and early 1960s to point the finger at dietary fat when looking to place blame on what was causing the higher incidences of obesity and heart disease across the US population. Other industries like the grain and the vegetable oil industries got in there as well. For decades, we've been taught that ingesting dietary fat is bad for us, and that we need to load up instead on healthy, grain-based starches like bread, pasta, and rice to get an adequate amount of nutrition in. This, despite grains actually do have nutrition, grains being absolutely devoid of any nutrition in this day and age thanks to years of manipulating its genetic makeup. FYI, if you have to fortify a food, grains is what I'm talking about here, with vitamins and minerals to make it healthy or healthier, then it's really not healthy, so just something to keep in mind. We're also told that we need to opt for vegetable oil-based foodstuffs like margarine to replace cholesterol-raising foods like butter, even though up until very recently, margarine contained trans fat, which is a man-made carcinogen that can also cause heart disease. The smoke and mirrors show about how our body solely operates based on the physics law of thermodynamics as another deceptive and short-term health and weight loss strategy, where calories in must equal or be less than calories out, or else risk gaining weight, getting fat, and, over time, hurting our health. We're certainly not taught about the different biochemical processes that occur in our bodies based upon when we ingest different macronutrients. Macronutrients being fats, proteins, and carbs, and how 1,000 calories of carbs doesn't impact either our weight and our health in the same way that 1,000 calories of, for instance, fat does. Blood sugar spikes, or a lack thereof, makes all the difference between storing body fat, or not, and becoming insulin resistant, or not. And that obviously leads to type 2 diabetes, which is a gateway disease to a myriad of very debilitating and less preventable health conditions. While good work has been done on the poor state of modern human nutrition by the likes of guys like Gary Taubes, William Davis MD, and David Perlmutter MD, and while there's a preponderance of evidence adding up to show that what we've been taught for over half a century isn't just inaccurate, but dangerous, it's all quiet on the Western Front. Perhaps the most important thing I learned on my 100-pound weight loss journey is that you can't blindly trust the food industry, the government, a vast majority of the medical community, or the pharmaceutical industry, particularly those fuckers. Instead, we need to do our own due diligence and make sure that any doctor or government-recommended dietary guideline is actually in our best interest before embarking on that path. William Davis MD actually wrote a fascinating book on the subject recently called Undoctored, which you can get at the link below in the comments. I also interviewed him shortly after his book Undoctored was released, so to check that out, please go to the link you're seeing here popping up somewhere on the screen. Another vitally important thing I learned in my weight loss journey is that it's important to keep things simple and sustainable. If you hear dogs in the background, I apologize. Think about it for a second. Are you really going to count calories or points for the rest of your life? I'll fill in the blank for you. Hell no. You're going to want to live your life, and it's hard to do that when you're constantly pulling out a notebook or a phone to log your food intake multiple times a day, 24/7, 365. Memorize the following 2 sentences and apply them to every nutritional decision you make going forward. It doesn't matter if you're prepping a meal at home or you're eating out at a restaurant. Use these sentences to guide you, and I can guarantee you'll see great results. Eat meats, vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, and no sugar. Eat only when hungry and just to satisfy, not to stuff your face. That's it. No calorie counting, no portion control. Just you and your body working together. Imagine that. Do me a favor now and enjoy your weekend, you filthy animal. So before you go, I have this insane urge to continue to provide value to you. So I want to do something impromptu, or a little impromptu, not too impromptu, but fun. Next Wednesday, June 28th, 2017, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be hosting a free webinar on permanent weight loss. No sales pitch, no BS. Instead, it's going to be an intimate conversation where I'll be answering yours and the other attendees' questions on health, fitness, nutrition, and weight loss. All you have to do to register is go to weightlossbypete.com/private webinar. The link's below in the comments. You can also see it on the screen. I'm sure something's popping up here. So again, weightlossbypete.com/private webinar and enter your name and email address. This will secure your spot and will get you a free gift in the process. That link again, weightlossbypete.com/private webinar. Enjoy your weekend.